So let's jump into the Apple Watch, which part of me was pretty angry last year that they upgraded so soon. I think they should have held those features. Um, Also, too, part of it was worry. Like, why are they upgrading it so fast? Is there something wrong with this current one? Um, I'm having some microphone issues, but other than that, it functions fine. I don't have any issues, no issues with battery life. So those worries kind of went away, but it's kind of concerning. Like, why did they upgrade it so fast? Why did they add some new features? Make the screen brighter. Is my screen gonna be going out
Yeah.
on me? But
It
so
made sense
let's
on the
talk about some of
series.
these
It made
watch
sense to
rumors.
launch the Series 9, right? Because they've
Right,
had a new
right,
one every year. They have never skipped a new
yeah.
model, and they've always been kind of incremental upgrades. But the Ultra to go to Ultra 2 for the couple of things that you got, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't. It was
Yeah.
kind of odd
Yeah.
that they did that.
Yeah.
And maybe I should go look, but I haven't really seen anybody saying I've worn both the Ultra and the Ultra 2 and this is how much better the battery life or screen or any of that kind of stuff on the Ultra
Yeah.
2 is. I mean, it's still my Ultra is still my thing. And my kids love the Snoopy
Mhm.
watch face, by the way. My youngest when when we're trying to get him to go to sleep, lay him by us, that's all he wants to do is cover
Just
Snoopy
hit
and then
that
tap him. Cover Snoopy and tap him. And he's like,
and see the
"Snoopy,
different one.
Snoopy." And I'm like, "Snoopy went to sleep."
Yeah.
So,
Right. So so I see you have some Apple Watch rumors here. Now, this was always a big one for me, and that's the blood pressure monitor,
yeah.
right? And the glucose level reader and stuff, which the main focus was health anyway with these watches, right? To get us more active, to get us, the gamification of getting your steps in and burning your calories and things like that. So, um, if none of that happens, though, would you be interested in moving from the Ultra?
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to really see. So, if I take a step back and think about this, and some of this comes from reading Power On, right? That
Hmm.
if this next year is going to be the year of the wearable for Apple, right? So you're
Right.
talking
Which
Vision
we've been
Pro.
saying that for the past 5 years. This is going to be
Yeah,
the year of the wearable.
but I mean, it kind of looks like everything could come together this year to make that happen. So
Yes.
you've got the Vision Pro coming out. You've got the rumors that were dropped about the Apple Watch X.
Hmm.
Um, then you've got new AirPods Max, and then probably in 2025, I think is what Gurman said, more AirPods Pro features. So if you think about this concept of the wearables getting the focus, I like that thing because then it becomes a health focus, right? It becomes about
Right.
health. And so we know that this year the Series 9 and the Ultra 2 got improved heart sensors, improved accuracy. That is one thing that I've heard people talk about is sometimes when I'm out doing workouts that my heart rate stuff goes gray because it's like the sensor can't get my heart rate. And
Okay.
I've heard that that's improved greatly and there are new sensors in the Ultra. So that's good. And so if there's a redesign, if there's improved screen technology, if there's improved battery technology, if there's other features that are coming in, and then they get one or both, the blood pressure or the glucose, just think about if they got both. All of a
Hmm.
sudden, the Apple Watch becomes the must have health device in everybody's lives, right? Not just Apple geeks or any of that kind of stuff, especially if they could let the Apple Watch stand on its own and not require an iPhone to pair to, right? I mean, you think
Hmm.
about my father-in-law that has diabetes. If he could get an Apple Watch and have it monitor his glucose versus having to prick his finger all the time, right?
Right. Right.
How much better would that be? And so I think about that kind of stuff, and yes, it gets me super, super, super excited. The one thing about these features that I think is important to point out, and Apple's done with this with the temperature sensor, with the current heart rate monitor, there none of this stuff is designed to diagnose anything, right? What they're
Right.
really trying to do is to give you data or give you a heads up that says, "Hey, something has changed. Maybe you ought to go talk to a doctor about that." So if you think about a blood pressure monitor,
Yeah.
um, you and I both monitor our blood pressure. And so I already know I have hypertension. So I'm dealing
Hmm.
with it. I'm working on it. What I would want the Apple Watch to tell me is, hey, it's gone up more than normal, right? And hasn't gone back down.
Yes.
So you may want to go have it checked, or you may want to put on a regular cuff.
Yeah,
And,
check it. Yeah,
right.
check it with a more accurate machine or something. Yeah.
And same thing with the glucose monitor, to be able to say something like, hey, your trends are changing. So I've been sick for the last 3 weeks, and I can't tell you how many health notifications I've gotten saying you have a new trend, and they're all going in the wrong direction. And I'm like, I know. So
Right.
that kind of stuff is super, super useful. So a couple years ago, I had on my blood pressure cuff that I have, it said I had some irregular heartbeat stuff going on. And so between that and the data that I got on my Apple Watch that was showing some of the patterns, I was able to go in, have a meaningful conversation with my physician, got referred
Hmm.
to a cardiologist who then checked everything out and said, just keep doing what you're doing, right? Nothing to worry about, those kinds of things. So it was nice to have those pre alerts that told me, hey, you might want to go have a conversation and be aware of some of this kind of stuff. And yeah, it led to more tests, and they put on the real monitors, and I had to wear that stupid thing for 24 hours or whatever the case would be, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But at least the watch told me you might want to go talk to somebody about this kind of stuff. And for me, it turned out not a big deal, but I do have to keep my eye on it. Right. For a
Yes.
lot of people, and we've seen these stories, they get these pre alerts and then they go in and they find there's
Yeah.
something really wrong, but they catch it soon enough so it's not a problem. So I
Yeah.
love this. This will be a slam dunk buy for me if I get either of those. I don't have diabetes. I do have the high blood pressure, but it
Right.
would be a slam dunk if I got one or both of those sensors, just even for peace of mind. Right, because I hate putting the blood
Yeah.
pressure cuff on. I do it when I feel like I need to, but if I just had that on my wrist, then it would just passively go in and do it, or whatever the case may be, and just tell me if I need. It's just a nice thing. I mean, it's the same thing that happened with the O2 sensor, even though it doesn't diagnose everything.
Hmm.
When COVID would hit and people were freaking out about not being able to breathe, it was just nice to have that O2 sensor and to be able to go in and say, "Oh no, I
Yeah.
look like it looks like I'm good to go." And every time I go in for a checkup, they do my oxygen and I compare it to what my Apple Watch says, and it's
Yep.
always within a
It's pretty
reasonable
close.
range,
Right.
right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think that's great if they start to put like temperature sensors in the AirPods, because that's a good place to take a temperature is inside your ear, right?
Hmm.
All of those other kinds of things. I think it'll be great for folks that want to be more aware of their health. Again, these are
Hmm.
not diagnostic tools, but they want to be more aware of their health and, um, get some pre warning if they need to go have a
Right.
conversation with a doctor about it. So I
Right.
love it. If none of this stuff happens this year, I don't know. I might stick with the Ultra, but I worry about the battery life, right? At some point, um,
Yeah.
starting to not be what I want it to be. And that's one of the reasons I have the Ultra is for the battery life. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if I get out camping more, which means more bike riding, that's even more important for me. So, anyway,
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
lot.
No, no, no. And I agree with you 100%. Like, even if it doesn't get these monitors, um, it's going to take some 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 pretty wild changes, right? I'm not looking for anything in particular outside of the blood pressure monitor. I wanted that since those rumors started. I've wanted that, and I think that we hadn't gotten it because, like you said, when you compare the readings that you get from your watch to the actual results and stuff from your testing, they're usually pretty close. So it has to be something with this blood pressure monitor that's not giving them an accurate reading. So as soon as they perfect that, as soon as they get that down, um, I'm all for it. But even if I don't get it, um, just some standard improvements and things like that
Yeah.
better battery life definitely would be something that I would jump on, even though this battery life is already awesome enough on this watch. The brighter screen, which we already got in the Ultra 2, I can use a brighter screen, but I'm not going Ultra 2. Ultra 3, if it has a even brighter screen than this one, and along with everything else, I'll be jumping on it. But yeah, I can't
Yeah.
think of anything in particular that would make me just jump on a new watch. But a blood
Yeah. I
pressure
think,
monitor, the other sensors, that's an automatic give me day
yeah.
one for me. Yep.
I think even without those, I think I'll be more likely to upgrade my watch this year than my phone based on current rumors.
Yep.
But again, I'm
Yeah.
on the brand new phone. So, and for
Yeah.
you, it may make more sense to go with the phone versus the versus the watch. What I'm trying to avoid here this year is two new iPads, a
Hmm.
Vision Pro, a new Apple Watch Ultra, and a new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Right? That's kind
Right.
of the now y'all that are listening, if you want to go in and hit our Patreon or whatever and build up the
Right. I
show to the
forgot to
point
plug that.
where we need to buy these things and we can just take it straight out of that, happy to do that. But if I just think
Yeah.
about my personal pocketbook,
Yeah.
maybe not all of those in the same year.
Right. Right.